Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. Shalom and salutations to all the Akwad listening and learning, being a pillar of rest. This can be a quick look, if you will, at lasers and laser beams, which are throughout the Bible. The Ten Commandments were written into stone tablets with a laser beam. Okay? Deuteronomy 9 and 10. And the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, delivered unto me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Now that finger is talking about that fiery stream, okay, coming from the chariot, right? And on them was written according to all the words which the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. In the mount, okay, as in shall be coming around the mountain, the mount of the chariot, right? The chariot, okay? The finger, the laser beam. The mount, the chariot, okay? Daniel 7, here's the chariot. I beheld, Daniel 7 and 9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was as white as snow. Was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire, describing the chariot. Here's the laser. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. So these so-called spaceships, UFOs, chariots of Israel, whatever you want to call them, have lasers. Okay? They have weapon systems on them. And this is what it's describing. And what we'll do is we'll come back to this later on when we're describing the mountain, the great mountain that Yahushua was flying up upon. Okay? So first, what we're going to do, we're going to go to, what, this? No. Nope, nope. Bear with me. Got something here. Okay, so the so-called wildfire in Lahaina. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this drone footage. Okay. This is Maui, the island chain of Hawaii. Maui was one of the richer or more wealthy islands. If you're a tourist and you can barely afford to spend a week in Hawaii, you're going to go to the island of Oahu, where Diamond Head and Honolulu, right, are found, and you're just a normal tourist. If you have money and you're wealthy, you're going to skip Oahu. You're going to go to Maui. And Lahaina is the capital of Maui, if you will. So, let's take a look at this. All right. Salakia, bear with me with the commercials. So this is drone video, Kula fire damaged in Maui. This is 4 days ago. We're going to look at what it looks like now. What you got to do is recognize the similarities. Okay, there's probably no audio. But what you're looking for is, look at all the green. Okay. See all the vegetation, all the greenery. They said that it's a wildfire or forest fire requires green shrubbery, trees burning up, being what is called consumed. When you consume something, it goes all the way down to white powder, right? Dust and smell of smoke, okay? But as you can see, there's plenty green around the houses that got burned down to the ground. How is it that you get these structures burning all the way to white powder, but not the vegetation around them, okay? And we're going to notice a pattern, okay? Because if you live in California, you understand the wildfires, or what they call wildfires, and what happened at Paradise and what happened at the Creek Fire right up the street here. So watch closely, look for this, and then the surrounding vegetation. That's kind of unnatural. Look at this. See how close? If it's a wildfire and it burned all of this, it should have burned everything green around it. Look at this. Look at the cars. It burned up the car, but right here, 5 feet away, right? You got green, right? That's not natural. Look at this. This thing is consumed, all right? Now, this is in Hawaii the other day. See the green grass right here? Salakia. Look at the grass right here. Well, that house is still standing. But from right here, look, I mean, it's really, I mean, you have to be looking the other way. It's all green right in here. From here to here. Look at this green. Well, that house survived. Wouldn't the fire just be consuming everything? Absolutely everything. But why are just the houses being targeted? The houses are being targeted. How do you do that? Okay. So that's drone footage of what happened in Maui the other day. Now, we're going to go back. Okay. Now we're talking about lasers. The Most High has the best lasers. Most High has the best of everything. Okay. Let's see. Let's just go right here. All right. Now, this is some old footage going back to your boy AJ, Bill Hicks. And I used this the other day, but now it's, see, as the days, there's your boy Bill Hicks right there. As the days go by, more information is going to come out about this. Now, your boy Chris Green, AMTV, who lives in Lahaina, okay? And I'm surprised that he's still alive and his family's fine, right? A couple of people lashed out at me because I used his name the other day. I'm like, well, where is he? He didn't speak up right away. And I was concerned just like everybody else, because he's going to be able to tell you or not tell you what he thinks about the situation. So if you go to Chris Green, AMTV, and listen to what his reports are, he's telling you, I'm not going to say what I think it is. He's dancing around it, which is why I wanted to hear his take on it, and he didn't come out right away. He was seeking refuge or whatever he was doing. But what you see him doing now, he's dancing around the laser issue, right? Because he knows. He knows what it is, and he knows he's in danger. If he start coming out saying this, DEW, right? What does this say? 4 years ago, okay, were the devastating California wildfires caused by DEW? Now, in this little vignette, which is only 3 minutes, listen to the incriminating things being said. This is 4 years ago now, and I'm going to emphasize the incrimination, all right? because they're just putting it out there. If you can't see it, listen close.
At around 9:45 p.m. on Sunday, October 8th of 2017, the Tubbs fire began in Northern California. And by the time the sun came up, over 1,000 homes were destroyed. Videos and photographs show how this so-called forest fire seemed to spare the wild and somehow jump from house to house.
Spare the wild. What does that mean? It means the vegetation. See? See the trees, but only the houses are burned out. Okay, I'm gonna let them play.
Somehow jump from house to house. CNN reported that the so-called forest fire jumped to the freeway. Hundreds of photographs.
This is very telling. Where's the vegetation? What's causing these things to burn? This is in California. When you get burned out vehicles and stuff like that, that's something different. Okay. What is the fuel for these fires? Okay.
Cars with melted trails of aluminum alloys from what must have been an unprecedented amount of power. The average forest fire burns at 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Listen, this is what vegetation burns at. The heat that vegetation burns at. Listen.
Aluminum alloys will melt at temperatures between 1,200 and 2,000 degrees.
So it had to be hotter than 1,100, which is a normal forest fire, because you got this kind of stuff jumping off, right? Letting you know that it's a different kind of heat.
But many of these cars were nowhere near a forest fire. Some cars were flipped over.
You have to notice what you see here, right here, right off the road here, okay? You got little almond trees untouched. That's not an almond tree, okay? But here, you got whole cars melted. See that? What causes that?
Cars were flipped over. The heat must have been intense. Not only was it able to melt aluminum alloy, but
look at the cul-de-sac. You got vegetation still standing, right? What little was there, that should not be there. If this all burned, right? Can you imagine the inferno? Can you imagine the heat? This stuff would just be the first to go. Wood burns. You burn wood, right? But you got cars melting. That's something different. You have to take these things into consideration. You can't just think that, oh, well, this is normal. It's normal if you're dealing with something other than a wildfire or forest fire.
Instantly, every home that caught fire was leveled to white, powdery ash in less than 12 hours.
White, powdery ash. And not the trees?
By October 31st, the Tubbs fire had destroyed 5,643 buildings. PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. PG&E was found responsible for 16 of the fires.
Now, right now, in Maui, what are they doing? They're blaming it on power lines, okay? They're blaming it on the power line. And then this goes into the whole meter, the digital meter, right, situation, which is another thing, right, that needs to be investigated, right? Why is PG&E? It says CAL FIRE finds PG&E equipment responsible. Huh? Okay. And that's possible. Okay. That this devil has it all wired up. That if they want to take you down, they can. All right. Let's keep going.
Over $10 billion in damages. All of this while producing $1 billion a year in profits for the Rothschild Investment Group. PG&E warned the public that the fires will not just continue, but will grow larger every season.
Huh? PG&E warned what? Listen close. Customers warned about power shutoff in extreme fire conditions. And they're going to continue. This is in Paradise, California. Okay. Oh, this is 4 years ago. They're going to continue and become more, is what's being said. Fast forward to today, you got Maui.
That the fires will not just continue, but will grow larger every season. They warn their investors that future liability will force PG&E into bankruptcy.
Now, this is PG&E. This isn't global warming or whatever. Those are two different things. Global warming is natural. PG&E is man-made electricity. All right. So which one is it?
In June, utility officials told state lawmakers that they needed protection to survive the coming fire season. And on August 31st, California state legislature passed a utility bailout bill to protect PG&E.
Sound familiar, right? You can take this machination, but you can't sue the company if anything goes wrong.
Shareholders and Rothschild Investment. At sunrise on Thursday, November 8th, the Camp Fire wildfire began in California. It has all the same anomalies as the Tubbs fire.
Anomalies. It has all the same anomalies as Maui. Trees standing up. Houses burned to white powder. Dust and smell of smoke.
And is already twice as devastating. Many people are asking the same question. Is this an attack?
What do you think?
In 2003, Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld and General Richard Myers admit to the development of directed energy weapons and microwave technology. In 2017, Lockheed Martin shoots drones out of the sky with an invisible laser beam that burns them from the inside out.
Invisible laser beam. Okay.
The technology exists, the evidence is there, but the motive? Perhaps it could be found in the United Nations Agenda 21, wherein certain areas of the country are proposed to be off limits to human use. It just so happens that these strange California fires seem to all be within the proposed no human use areas. New regulations and insurance policies are preventing homeowners from rebuilding. And meanwhile, they claim it is the new normal and are now claiming it is a phenomenon of global warming. One thing is for certain, the governor of California has already assured that the people will pay for all of the damages. This is Greg Reese reporting for...
Let the finger pointing begin. He said something very important. From the inside out, right?
Inside out.
Oh, there it is. Accurate, more accurate than I thought. Listen to what he says.
Them from the inside.
Listen close.
17, Lockheed Martin shoots drones out of the sky with an invisible laser beam that burns them from the inside out.
That's what I wanted. Now, let's see if we can find this. Wildfire. Trees burn from INS inside out. What comes up? Man finds tree burning from inside in California 5 years ago. Sonoma County. Well, that doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Was driving around looking for escape routes as multiple fires closed in on the area he was in. The tree appears to be hollowed out by embers and flames.
How?
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County.
From the wildfires? Look at all the vegetation outside of this. Untouched. But inside, a raging volcano.
A man came across this tree burning from the inside out.
From the what?
Matthew McDermott was driving around looking for escape routes as multiple fires closed in on the area he was in. The tree appears to be hollowed out by embers and flames.
Insane. That's absolutely not normal. By design, the outside of the tree is the strongest and driest and thickest layer, which should always burn first and or protect the inside layer. Strange though that in this case, the weirdest part or the wettest part of the tree, the part that contains the living sap, burned first. That doesn't make sense, does it? It almost makes sense because sap does of course burn and can be used for torches, but the question is, how did the fire start inside the tree in the first place? I suppose if this was Star Wars and Luke could not shoot a tree with his heavy blaster that could ignite the center of the tree as the blaster bolt passed through the greater mass. Interestingly weird. What blaster bolt? He's talking about lasers. Okay. Why did he have to go to Star Wars? Inside Out. Okay. This internal fire is due to a large nano aluminum uptake in the tree's central column. Okay, right. Okay. Those trees are so old, they surpass the chemtrails. So anyway, just wanted to go into that for a second. Now, we're dealing with lasers here.
At around 9:45.
Slovakia. So since we're dealing with lasers, how about this? I'm not going to say it. They're going to say it. Remember them balloons? The China balloons? The Chinese balloons? Remember that? Where am I going with this? Bear with me. Where's this guy? What's his name? Bear with me. Lahaina, death toll, Maui, wildfire, Israelite. This guy's name is Glenn Beck. Here we go. Right here.
Get your free Thomas Sowell ebook, Trickle Down.
Let's walk in. Now it reads Blaze TV 4 months ago. Okay. 4 months ago? Oh, wow. Okay, now, what does this say? This is 4 months ago. Mysterious Hawaii. What? That word. Update. What is China doing there? Who? China. Okay. Around the same time, the China weather balloon made its appearance over the U.S., mysterious green, those things were spotted in the skies of Hawaii. The government told us that the lasers were part of a routine NASA exercise to measure the size of the Earth, but then the story changed, and now in this clip, Glenn presents more information about what China potentially could have been doing with a dual-purpose supersonic satellite over Hawaii. What? Huh? Lasers? Over where? Hawaii? Doing what? China? Right? The same one with the biolab in the armpit of California. I'll just say Reedley. What's that? What's that little lightning bolt right there, Glenn? Anyway, let's check this out. March 14th. This is months ago. What are we talking about? We're talking about lasers. Where? In Hawaii. I'm just reporting what has already been reported.
the China, the
On the top.
do you remember, Pat, the China, the lasers that were
Yeah, the green lasers.
quote measuring Hawaii?
Right.
Yeah. So that happened, Sarah, about a month ago. About a month ago. This video came out that showed this green laser kind of just tracking Hawaii, just all these little laser beams coming down from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And the what they said was, "Don't worry, but we do this all the time. It's NASA. We're measuring the Earth." And I thought,
Because I thought we knew a while ago
how big the Earth?
How big the Earth.
Yeah, I thought so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But no. This is for global warming.
Oh,
Apparently,
okay.
the water weight. We're losing
Changed.
some water weight, and so we,
okay.
tighten our belt a little bit. I guess I don't know, but that didn't seem like a logical answer to me because I've lived a few times, a few days, and since we've had lasers, and I've never seen us measure the Earth. And you'd think if we do that all the time,
You would see it from time to time.
some of us might have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one didn't fly. So then, after the balloon happened with China, it came out that wasn't a NASA satellite.
No.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a NASA satellite. So apparently our government lied to us yet again.
Yet
Not a government satellite. It's a weather satellite, but it's a Chinese weather satellite.
Oh, okay. So
And-
they were just inspecting the weather with lasers?
Well, what they do, they were worried about the pollution in Hawaii, and so they were measuring
the Chinese were worried about it.
the pollution in
Hawaii's
Hawaii. Yeah,
pollution.
of course.
Okay.
And so they were measuring the
That's
amount
kind
of
of sweet of them, isn't it?
It is very nice, very
Yeah.
kind. Well, they're
Yeah.
very, very global warming conscious.
Oh, I know. I heard. I heard that from Jennifer Granholm.
Right. So we have a lot to learn from them. They can measure the particles in the air with a satellite with green lasers.
That's incredible.
We don't do that.
No.
So that one seemed a little odd
Yeah.
and maybe a little too nice for China to do.
Mm-hmm.
It has now come out and said, well, okay, all right. That satellite has a dual purpose. Okay. It not only can measure, pollution.
It can clean it up?
Well, no, it can
No.
just measure it.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only can it do that, but it also can be used to target their new hypersonic missile.
To do what? To target? You mean to destroy?
Because it needs very accurate targeting. So, what this climate change satellite does is it comes down and it measures all the pollution, but it also could measure exactly the topography and make sure that the hypersonic missiles have an exact location to hit.
But fortunately, we're talking about the Chinese here, and we
Right,
know they
so
have
it's-
no ill will toward us.
No.
So
No.
you don't need to worry about that particular
No,
aspect of it.
No.
It's just a measurement thing.
They're
How many-
measuring the density of the atmosphere. That's what they're doing.
Oh,
Pat.
okay. How dense is
Yeah.
the
It's
atmosphere?
pretty.
Could they level the whole playing field down there if they wanted to? Turn it all into ash, dust, and smells?
How dense?
Over America, I think it's
We're pretty
very
dense.
dense.
Yeah.
Very dense. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Apparently it's the hypersonic missile. It
Mhm.
doesn't like weather,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes there's weather.
Yeah,
So they need to do the
that's unfortunate.
laser thing, which is kind of nice. You get like I don't know.
And there was plenty of weather going on in Maui Wowie at the time, right? Like Hurricane Dora. Who's getting blamed? Well, it was the super winds. A Negro was smoking a blunt. And he tossed it, and then a flame appeared. And then Hurricane Dora took it. It was the weather.
Like a Pink Floyd moment right before you're vaporized. You know,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
what
Did he say vaporized? Wait a minute.
moment right before you're vaporized? You know,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
whoa, look at the cool lasers in the sky. And you hold your lighter up or your phone, you're like, yeah, rock. It's great.
You don't even get to on.
No,
get
you don't.
Rock
Of course,
on.
no.
Just rock. Okay.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. By the way, you remember Naomi Wolf?
Yes.
Okay.
Author, liberal,
Yeah.
part of feminist.
Yeah, and third wave feminist, and I believe part of the Clinton administration at one point, wasn't she? She came out and wrote a letter to conservatives,
I love it.
and she said, "Republicans and conservatives, I'm sorry. I believed wholesale so much else that has turned out to be not as I was told it was by NPR, MSNBC, and the New York Times. Anyone in leadership who has misrepresented to the public the events of January 6th so as to distort the complexity of the actual history must be held accountable." Holy cow.
Wow. That's a brave
That's-
statement from
Are
somebody on
you
the
kidding
left.
me?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you should see. I think it was in the Times or Huffington Post. I can't remember where I read it, but they were talking about, well, you know, she went on Tucker Carlson about a year ago, so we worried about her bona fides.
And here come the whistleblowers. What's going to happen in the next few weeks? More and more people, including Chris Green. Keep your eye on Chris Green because he's going to come out and say, or he's going to come out and not say. He's going to dance around the issue while he's going to tell you without telling you that it was this here. He's on the island of Maui. He's in the town of Lahaina. He's going to tell you without saying it, it was this. Okay, enough of that. These guys are trying to be funny. But look, I didn't create this. Right? I didn't create these two words put together. This was 4 and 5 months ago. And now we have Maui Wowie. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and close it. We're going to go to the lasers, yeah? Let's get the lasers from the mountain. 2nd Ezra's 13. All right? Because the lasers come from the Bible, first of all. We just read the finger of God. A fiery stream. Let's get that one more time. Daniel 7 and 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. This is talking about the Most High, the Ancient of Days. Okay, his chariot, wheels, a wheel within a wheel, as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Let's talk about them lasers. Now we'll get Yahweh Shai. 2nd Ezra 13 and 1, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the ways thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. That's Yahweh Shai, that man, and the angels of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him, under his chariot. And whensoever the voice, okay, here's the laser. The voice, whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Let's talk about them lasers. Like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire, like Maui did the other day. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. Now I gotta say this because everybody gets this wrong. They just read, blow right through it. It is very important that when you read this, you read it in this context. He had graved himself a great mountain. That's a chariot. That's that UFO. That's that spaceship. And flew What did he fly? Did he fly upon it? Everybody says this. They'll read this scripture and flew upon it. No, he didn't fly upon it. He flew up. That word is essential. He flew up upon it. It's essential. No, it ain't, Huck. It's right there. You're adding and taking away. In this situation, you're taking away from the scripture. He flew up upon it. You can't leave that out. That's essential. Okay? You could fly upon a race car. He flew right down the street upon it. Right? No, he was up. He was in the heavens, which is the sky. He flew up. He flew, right? That could mean anything. But he flew up upon it. Okay? He flew up upon what? A great mountain. You could fly, you could get a hang glider and fly upon a mountain. Okay? But when you fly up upon the mountain, that means you're on the mountain and you're all flying, not you're up on a mountain flying on a hang glider. Right? He was flying with the mountain as he sat on it or was piloting it. All right? So here we have the voice, which is the laser, and here we have the spaceship, which is the mountain that he flew up upon. Okay? We're going to jump down here to 8. 2 Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. So we just switched the subject matter to weapons right here. Right? He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Talk about weapons. Now we're going to describe his weapon that was mounted, right? Mounted weapons on that spaceship. But only I saw as he sent out of his mouth as it had been. It's going to describe, this is Ezra's describing what he saw in the vision, right? Was a laser, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. These are the weapon systems on that spaceship. She'll be coming around the mountain. Right? And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. This is what a laser does. Now, when I saw this, I was afraid. Does Esau have lasers? Yes, he does. Where did he get them from? He got them from the Most High. The Most High gave him the technology. That's simple. Okay? So the point is that the lasers are in the scriptures. All right? Dust and smell of smoke. I could go right now to Tom Cruise in, what is it called? It's called War of the Worlds. And what are the so-called tripods doing? They're shooting lasers. This is Independence Day. They're shooting lasers. Okay? Concentrated fire. All right? The spaceship, this is the ship, the underside of it, is shooting a laser, they know. This is the mountain. It was so big, right? She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. See it? She'll be coming around the mountain, the great cloud unfolding itself. What is it doing? It's shooting a laser down. We just read about it in the scriptures. All right, look at this. Truth behind the mysterious laser beam that dominated Coventry, that's in England. Look at this. This is real deal. Okay, so we're dealing with lasers here. Could it have been the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai shooting at Maui? Yes, it could. We don't know that. But what we do know is when you look at that, right? When you look at this situation, I can't find it right now. Anyway, they're showing you lasers right here, right? When you look at these wildfires, Salaki. You look at the wildfires, right? This is the work of lasers, no matter who it was. Okay? Understand this. God, the one you call God, he's dealing with lasers. Did he give them to the devil? He sure did. Okay? What do they call them? DEWs. All right? So we're going to go ahead and end it right there. All right? Because you're going to see more lasers. All right? The end of the world as we know it is going to be due to intercontinental ballistic missiles and lasers from the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so with that, we hope that the elect were edified. If the Spirit was on me to go into lasers. So just letting you know. All right, with that, we hope the elect were edified. You brothers and few sisters, shalom.